Let's start the Wheel of Time. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zach with Zacks Books, and today I've got for you my Eye of the World book review. I just finished the book earlier today. I've had some time to kind of ponder it. It's the first book in the Wheel of Time franchise book series. We will be having a video kind of coming out soon as to why I decided to start the series, but for this sake I'm just going to be talking about the first book. There's 15 of them. I plan on doing a video kind of like this for each book. I'm going to try and do that. I mean, it's a good experience so far, so let's start talking about the book. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the Eye of the World. So like I said, I started this today. Well, no, it's nighttime. I started like late last night, but I finished it today and read it in a whole day. It is one of the thicker books in the series. The first one is. The last three that Brandon Sanderson helped wrote are bigger, but this I would say it's my first true dip into fantasy. So I didn't know a whole lot about what to expect going into the book, and I've been trying to watch a couple of like spoiler-free reviews on other people's thoughts on this. Mike book reviews. He's been a good help with the Wheel of Time stuff. I watched a couple of Daniel Green videos just to kind of help me get through the first book, because there was a lot happening, and like I said, it's the very first fantasy book that I've read. I've read the Dark Tower series, but that's like Stephen King fantasy, horror, science fiction, like every single genre there is, Western. And so this, I would say, is my true first fantasy. Harry Potter I read, but that's like, I don't know, it's not like YA fantasy, but it's younger fantasy. But anyone can read Harry Potter. But this, I would say, is my first true dive into it. For overall thoughts, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of characters. Ultimately, I gave this 4 stars. It's not... Again, I don't have anything to like really bank this off of. Like, I can't say like, oh, Tolkien did this with the Fellowship of the Ring. This is what he did. I really can't do that, and that's just me being bluntly obvious and honest with you guys. I got no other fantasy book to bank this off of or compare it to. This is the first one that I've truly read, if I haven't said that already. But there's a lot of characters. The lingo in the fantasy world is way different, and so there were some parts where I honestly thought what an item was ended up being a character's name, and so it kind of threw me for a loop sometimes. I did do this as an audiobook, and I was following along with it. Obviously, I was trying to... I had the Bears game on the other night, and I was trying to watch that, listen to it, and then all day today I finished the book and read it. But this... I have a favorite character, I'll say that much. The favorite character I have, his name is Lowell. He's met, I want to say it's about halfway through the book. He's labeled as this giant dark figure, and he's like, at first the person he meets... this is what's going to kill me with this, is there's so many like characters I need to be following here. I can't remember the first person he meets, but it startles him, and he draws his sword on him, and he's like about to fight him, and the guy's like, hang on, I'm a friendly. Don't hurt me. And he just sounded really cool. He reminded me kind of like the tree characters from the Lord of the Rings movies, which are really cool. Ultimately, that was my favorite character in this book so far, is Lowell. I hope he ends up making it through the whole 15 books, but who knows. He ends up guiding them towards the end. It's really cool. It's such a great... the world was built so great with this story. Like, again, I got nothing to compare it to, so it's kind of hard for me to really put into words or like compare it to anything, because obviously I can't compare it to anything. Can't compare this to Hogwarts, so that's out. Alright, so again, I'm going to try and summarize this book. vaguely as I can. I don't want to give any spoilers away. I am, like I said, still kind of a noob with fantasy stuff. So I have a couple of notes on my phone here that I'm going to look at while I'm kind of explaining. So pretty much this is about a couple of people from a town called Emansfield. And the main people we're looking at is Rand, a guy named Matrim, but they call him Matt throughout the whole story. Perrin, Egwene, and Nenev. And their town gets attacked by Trollocs, and a Madriel, which is like the main person who's like in charge of the Trollocs. And their town gets attacked. Pretty much what they end up doing is this story is about them going out and trying to like prevent it from happening again. And pretty much along the way, a lot of things happen. The group gets split up. We meet an Agir. I believe that I think that's how you pronounce it, but that's who Lowell is, which is like the big creature. He ends up going out with Rand and Matt. They end up becoming like a group of 3 people. And then a couple of the Trollocs start following one of the groups. And it's a whole big story. There's a lot of places involved, like I said. Those are the main points that I really wanted to get across. They lose one of the people, but it's not confirmed. But, I mean, the book, like I said, it was the first true fantasy book that I had read. And it's got such a great atmosphere in it. I really liked the storytelling. It was such a good first book. A lot of people did say that the second book, which is, I think, The Great Hunt, is better and one of the top ones in the series. So I will be starting that next, obviously, because it's book 2. But out of the books that I'm going to be reading soon, I don't think I'm going to read all 15 in a row. I would like to, so that way I can kind of keep with the same story, which is something I didn't do with The Dark Tower. But I know The Great Hunt is going to be the next book I am going to be reading soon. So we'll try and get that done and that video up probably end of November, maybe early December. No guarantees. Again, like I said, I will be having a video coming out soon kind of explaining why I decided to read The Wheel of Time and not like another fantasy series like Red Rising or the Brent Weeks one, The Lightbringer, or something like that. I'll go over the points in that video. I'm not going to say anything now because there's going to be a whole separate video about it. But am I going to continue the series? Yes. Am I a little anxious for it? I would say yes, just because I know that it's a long, long series. It's twice as long as The Dark Tower was, and I thought The Dark Tower was a long series. So, I mean, it's almost twice as many books. But I'm excited for it. And I know that this has got a lot of people who follow this series and really enjoy the story. And I'm sure whatever comes up that I'm confused with or concerned with, a lot of you guys are going to be able to help me out with it. And I want to enjoy this series as much as everyone who I've been watching do their videos on. And I'm very excited for this series because it's a big one, and it's going to be my first true dip into fantasy. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. Help me out with this journey because it's going to be a long one. And bear with me because, like I've been saying it all video, this is my first fantasy. And, you know, am I worried that I probably started out with too big of one? Possibly, but I feel up to the challenge. And I want to enjoy this. And I want you guys to enjoy it with me. So make sure you like this video. Comment your thoughts on The Wheel of Time or The Eye of the World. And don't forget to subscribe because it really helps. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And be really helpful. There you have The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This is the first book of The Wheel of Time. 1 down, 14 more to go. Very excited. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Later.